Hey, what's going on, guys? Shady here. This is a rare instance of me playing an elite ranked boss. I've been kind of getting more into it over the past few months, so I'm doing this week's Blastapopulus. The boss might be over by the time you see this, I'm not sure. But I did this on a live stream and I failed miserably, so I figured I might as well give it a shot. My time is not good. Do not take this as me as like a tutorial on what to do. Go to someone like, you know, Mahalik Pops or something, even though he usually doesn't upload until after. But go to someone like that if you want like an in-depth thing. This is just showing you how I did it. And my strategy altered a little bit, but this is like as good as I was going to get it. There are definitely a lot of things I could have improved in this run, but this is how I'm doing it. I turned off auto start because I find like it gets a little bit difficult, especially with the farming, to maintain everything if I don't turn off auto start. So I turn it off and I just manually start each round. And right here, I started with the free dart and the boomerang. I was originally starting with the free dart and then I would just build farms and then get the hero, but I actually stopped. I'm not using the hero anymore in this run like I did in previous runs, and I picked a boomerang so that way I can hit more and I don't get as heavy of a time penalty, because before I was getting like a 2-minute time penalty, but this time I think it only went up to like 10 seconds, I think. I don't remember. We'll see by the end. And the boomerang, I keep it there too because I want to get pops. I'm going to get both a boomerang and a dart paragon. So I might as well use this just to get a little bit of pops. It's not much, but it's just something that I can use to get some pops. But anyways, I'm just building 200 farms right now. And that's basically how it's going to be for the first few rounds. Alright, so I sped through that, but that pretty much just built a bunch of 204 farms, or 203 farms. And I'm putting down an engineer because I use a trap to just build up a little bit of extra income. I've also been upgrading my boomerang and dart, and that's just to keep the time penalty down. So I have I think it's a 0, 2, 3 dart here, I think. And then like I think it's like a 2... Or no, it's like a 302 boomerang, I think is what it is. So I set up my engineer monkey here. It's pretty late too, like the boss is about to come out, but it'll start earning me money and then it'll also provide some defense. I set up a village here, and I give it camo so that way my engineer can also trap camo balloons. And then I set up a discount so that way it'll discount the elite defender that I'm going to get for the tier 1 defense. The tier 1 is real easy. I just put down Elite Defender and it handles it. I do want to say, too, this is all my strat that I've developed, except for tier 3. Tier 3, boss defense, that one I actually changed it, and I got it from BTD6 Phoenix. But that's the only one I changed. I moved the spot for the trap down from where it is a little bit further down because Blastapopulus will... he'll shrink the range of your engineer, and then it'll move your farm down like right next to where the engineer and village is, and that's annoying. So it's not anything. So I move it down a bit, and it still can reach even when it gets its range up. But as you can see, I got the elite defender, got it under the discount, so it was a little bit cheaper. And then I'm gonna throw a jungle drums on it too, and I set it to strong. And you know, just so it's just gonna annihilate. Okay, maybe not annihilate, but it's gonna do a pretty decent job at taking out Blastapopulus. During this boss fight, I found that every phase except for phase 3 was pretty easy to beat. You know, I'm not gonna have the best time at all, but tier 3 was the only one that gave me a hard time. And that's mostly because it's that weird phase where it has enough health to be a big threat, but I don't have enough money to build anything crazy. However, I'll show you when I get there what I changed, and I'll explain what I did differently compared to the strat I'm using in this video that I got from Phoenix, which is much easier than the one I was doing. The one I came up with was kind of ridiculous. Yeah, there's probably ways where you can get it better, but like I said, I just went Elite Defender. I do that with a lot of bosses. I go Elite Defender for the first phase, and that usually handles it. And yeah, once I'm done with that, just keep building farms as well. I keep building my farms while I'm going, so that way I'm still making money. And then I sell my Elite Defender, start upgrading the farms. And eventually I'm going to turn this village into a Monkeyopolis with 5 of these banana farms here. The bottom tier 4, I'm going to turn it into one of those. And that will do a pretty good job. Eventually, too, I'm going to have to get a village for the camo village, because my dart monkey can't hit ledge yet, but my boomerang monkey can. So I get a village up there, because when I was testing this out before, I had that problem where there's going to be camo leads that overflow my trap and they get past. So I need to make sure that my boomerang monkey can hit them. And since I'm doing that, I might as well throw jungle drums on it too, so I can make them shoot a bit faster. But this is just more of the same, and see you when I get to the tier 2 defense. Alright, I'm here for the tier 2 defense. This one's also pretty easy, it's just a mad. I just sell everything that I can to get a mad. And the mad will handle it real easy. And I put it under the Jungle Drums village, just so it has a little bit of extra attack speed. I probably should have put I probably should have put an alk on it too, but I wasn't really thinking that when I got it. But looking back, it's like, oh, I probably could have put an alk on it, because it's pretty cheap and I could have helped out a little bit, but it's not too bad. But the mad, just like the Elite Defender on tier 1, the mad will just solo this tier. I'm also getting a little bit of help from the Dart Monkey and the Boomerang, but they're really not doing much. It's the mad that's handling everything. And then I'm just continuing to build down the marketplaces down there, so that way I can, like I said, I'm going to build a Monkeyopolis out of those. And then that's when I'm going to start building my Banana Centrals. I try to save my ability for when the rocks are gone. You see those rocks he puts around, that will block a lot of the projectiles. And once they're gone, that's when I try to use the rocket storm ability. I just want to say I love the mad, by the way. The mad is amazing. It's the go. But yeah, you can see me. This is probably the phase that takes the longest. Probably. Well, it's either this or phase 3 that takes the longest to beat. Because the mad definitely can handle it. It just takes a bit. Like, as you can see, it's going down surely but slowly. No, tier 3 definitely takes the longest, I think. Yeah, and you can see me just building up my farms there. I'm also going to upgrade my trap to an XXL after I sell the mad. Because once I'm done with this defense, I'm going to sell the mad, upgrade my trap, and then just keep upgrading my farms. Because the XXL trap, especially under the village, I've upgraded the village as well. And so it's making more money, and making other things around it make more money. And yeah, sold the mad, upgraded my engineer, and then I'm just slowly but surely upgrading my farms. Here in a bit, once I get enough, I'll turn it into a Monkeyopolis with all 5 of these under it, and then I think it pumps out like 1100. And then after that, I start upgrading towards the Banana Central, and that's the Banana Central is what takes the longest farm to save up for, because obviously that's the most expensive one. But it's definitely worth it. I also eventually get an engineer, because an engineer, or I already have an engineer, but I get an overclock, so I could put it on the Banana Central. I get it later though than I did before, and I think it's because of how much money I spent in tier 3. I just didn't have the money to do what I normally do. So it just kind of all flows together. Yeah, there I built my Monkeyopolis. Once I get that going, the money starts rolling in a lot easier. And then basically from here on out, I build like I think 2 or 3 Banana Centrals or BRFs, and then I go to a Banana Central. So that's pretty much it for this tier. I'll see you on the next tier defense, which is by far the hardest one. Okay, I got my Banana Central up, and this is when I actually start really raking in money. I also forgot to mention to get a Rubber to Gold up top. I got that pretty early on, like I think after, like just after the tier 1 defense, I got that. But that just helps out get you some extra money, and you're gonna sell it anyway, so you'll make your money back. But I'm building up my Dart Monkeys now because I'm going to defend tier 3 with the Apex Plasma Master. I didn't do that originally. Originally what I did was way worse and more complicated. I started out with a Flying Fortress and a Permabrew, and then I would go ahead and build a Dark Knight into a Dark Champion into a Legend of the Night. That took forever. It didn't always work because sometimes sometimes Blastapopulus would stun my Legend of the Night and I couldn't teleport it. So this I got from BTD6 Phoenix, who's a YouTuber who does like tutorials and stuff. This is the only thing I took from his video that I did myself after I've already formed mine. Pretty much the rest of my strategy is all mine still, but this one I got from him because I just couldn't. This part was way too complicated. And this is actually faster. The Apex Plasma Master does more damage. So I set up all my Dart Monkeys, and I'm putting it down here because this is where it's going to be anyways. Where the boss is going to be most of the time, and it's going to be in range of it. And then I'm trying to get it a few pops before I transform it, but it really wasn't working, so I was like, yeah, I'll just transform it. And just building up the money now, too. And then I also build a Flying Fortress. I still build a Flying Fortress because I want that up ASAP because it's going to start getting pops for the for the Ace Paragon I'm going to have at the end of the game for the final tier. So yeah, this, you can see, look, it just starts decimating. A lot of people don't like the Apex Plasma Master, but I really do. I think it's good for the price. Like, yeah, it's far from the strongest Paragon, but it's the cheapest. So to me, at least, it makes sense. I kind of wish I would have put down the Flying Fortress a bit earlier instead of building more farms, but I completely forgot about it until you see me put it down. Which will be here in a bit, but I forgot to put it down until then. Because it actually, later on, I don't get as high a degree as I would like because I was missing out some of the pops. And I think if I put it down earlier, I probably could have gotten enough pops off of this boss here to get it to the degree I wanted it. Just spoiler alert, I get it to degree 59. And that irritated the hell out of me, but I still beat it with a better time than I had before. My best time, like when I first did this ranked boss, I got like a 29.5 minute ranking, and then when I did it again, I shaved off like 4 minutes. I got like 25 something. And then this time, I think it was like 22 minutes or 21. I was trying to get sub 20, but I was like, I'll take it. I still don't know how the hell the best times do that. But I'll see, like, my Halipops will upload a video about it, probably, and there'll be a bunch of others, and I'll see how they do it, because, like I said, this Tier 3 is the only strategy for sales. Everything else is my strategy, but obviously my strategy is very suboptimal. But yeah, as you can see, they're handling it real easy. My strategy was way more complicated, man. I had to teleport the Dark Knight around, or the Legend of the Night. I also had to keep overclocking everything. I forgot to mention I also built an overclock. I don't remember when I built that, but it probably was like during this defense. And then here's when I just keep going. And yeah, I put a Permabrew on the plane, because like I said, I really wanted to just keep getting as many pops as possible for the tier 5 defense when I build up the Paragon. So yeah, now I'm just going to keep up building farms, and I'll see you when I get to the tier 3 defense. Okay, now we're on to the tier 4 defense. This one is pretty easy. I just get a Boomerang Paragon. What I did before was I got like a degree 40, so that way it would still be really good in the final defense as well. I probably still could have done that, like maybe sold my Apex and gotten a degree 40. That actually might have been better to do, I don't know. But I kept up both of them. And this is what I did in like before as well. Even in my original strategy, I got a Boomerang Paragon for tier 4 because the Boomerang Paragon, one of my favorites. I decided not to put any money into it because I was like, I don't have that much money anyways, and a tier 20 along with the Dart Paragon will definitely handle it, and the Flying Fortress. So I kept that going. I got an Ultra Boost, and I've just been Ultra Boosting my plane and my farm. I'm Ultra Boosting my plane here so it can just do as much damage as possible, get as many pops as possible. And then once I defend this, then I switch to just boosting my Banana Central. As you can see, the defense is going not too terribly. My farming was also lacking. Like, in my other ones, I was able to farm up to like 2 million or something, like 2.5 million. But this one, I only get it to like 1.8 million after I sell everything in the end. So my farming wasn't as good here either. That probably contributed to me not having as high a degree playing Paragon as I would have wanted. But yeah, I love the Dave Dominus. The Glaive Dominus. I love this Paragon. To me, it's one of the best ones. And it just handles it. Like I said, maybe it'd be worth it to sell the... I still don't know if that would get me a degree 40 if I sold the Apex and for that. But that might be worth it. I don't know. Probably, it might have beat the boss faster. But as you can see, they handle it pretty easily. And my plane is getting quite a few pops, which is the main thing I want. So now, basically, I'm just going to keep farming. Now I switch to boosting my farm until everything's ready to go. I also sold my... Once I got the... You probably saw it, but once I got the Flying Fortress, I sell my XXL trap because it doesn't really do anything at that point, because the plane's going to destroy everything before it gets on screen, most things. So I just sell it then. Sure, it might have been useful here. I probably could have kept it, like, built it up again just for that, but it actually might have not made me back as much money as it put into it. So, I'll see you for the final defense. Alright, here we are for the final defense. Now I'm just selling everything. I built a degree 1 Ice Paragon just for the ability, which ended up being a waste because I actually miss the ability, and you only get one with the tier 1 because it doesn't refresh in time, and it kept resetting everything. So that was a bit annoying. Yeah, see, I missed it here. I did it way too early, and so I missed it. And then I don't get it again. So the Ice Paragon was an absolute waste of money that I could have put towards that. But actually, I got degree 59, and that pissed me off. But I was like, you know what, whatever. I probably should have just sold my Apex Master to get a degree 60, because I feel like getting a degree 60 playing Paragon would actually probably be better than having a degree 20 Apex there, but I don't know for sure. That's something I have to test out, but I'm not going to, so I'm just gonna go what I got. But either way, this did get me a better time than I had before. It's just annoying, and me missing the skull also didn't help out. Because like I said, with the degree 1 Ice Paragon, the ability takes a long ass time to come off cooldown, and then it kept getting reset by Blastapopulus, so I didn't get it back again. So the Ice Paragon was just a waste. It literally did nothing. It just sat there the whole time. But as you can see, this is a pretty easy defense. You only get 4 Paragons. Here too, it was limited to 4 Paragons, which it seems like a lot of bosses are. So I just went with these 4. I probably could have picked something else, like a Ninja Paragon or something. I don't know if that would have worked though, because I think Blast like blows stuff off of it. So I think if I would have tried to, like, its sticky bombs are like the main thing of damage that it does, aside from its Grand Sabo ability, and it might have blown that off. I don't know. I think they reworked them, so I don't know if they changed that or not. As you can tell, I don't know much about Blastapopulus. But yeah, there we go. My time was 21 something. Let's see exactly what it is. Here I just kind of go over all that stuff. 2202. Yeah, so that put me 336. And this is a July 7th when I filmed this, so there's like, I think it was like 30 hours left when I filmed that, so I probably should have done the normal as well. The normal was much easier. I got like 9 minutes on that. Yeah, like 9.5 minutes. But, you know, it's normal. It's a lot easier than the Elite. And yeah, look at all those pops that Monkey Ace got. And my Ice Paragon that did nothing. But that was my fault. I should have timed the ability better. But anyways, that was fun. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. And yeah, see ya.